Hello, hi, my name is Raphael Farrell, and this is a video about engaging students in science instruction. Um, I teach third grade, and a number of the students that I work with on a daily basis, I realize that they all learn differently, especially in terms of science, ELA, and social studies. So it's important to keep your methods of instruction and engagement. You need a variety of them. It's important to one, assess what students have learned previously about the subject before you even delve into the new content. Incorporate differentiated learning paths. So, in the realization that all of your scholars or students learn differently, it's important to incorporate the same content but deliver it in different ways to different students. That takes practice. It's important to also allow time for self-reflection. So there should be a portion of the material where they are, or a portion of the learning block where they're able to interpret things that they've learned or things that stuck out to them during the lesson on their own. Exit tickets are very important because they allow you as the instructor to understand what your students have learned and what may still be a little fuzzy to them. Incorporate technology. Don't limit yourself to computers and tablets. There are interactive games, there's smart boards, there's STEAM projects, there's STEAM books, there are online activities, there are even simple activities that they can do at home. You also want to incorporate those as well. When collaborating, things that encourage them to work with groups or work in groups, you definitely want to keep the learning groups small, 3 to 4 members. Keep the learning language, make sure it's in kid-friendly terms and make sure that it's terms that they can understand. Pre-test and post-test are very good for assessments. Post-test wrap up whatever the material may be so that you can move on. And they also let you know if you can move on to other things. Pre-test gives the teacher an idea of what they already learned. You definitely want to include parts of what you mentioned in class on the assessment. Do whatever is accessible or whatever you can to reduce stress and anxiety for students because it does block or barricade the method of learning. It does keep them from getting important information from the course or from the lesson because they're nervous or apprehensive. Make sure whatever you're teaching, they can apply to their lives. It needs to be real world applicable. It also incorporate assignments that really challenge them to think outside the box. And of course, technological incorporation is an important facet. To hold interest, these are a few of the things that I use. You want things that appeal to their senses. I also like to include in my warm-up, in my conclusion, I would like to include my students in the lesson planning process. Keep them laughing. You can't be afraid to make a fool of yourself because if they're laughing, they're engaged. Keep ideas concrete and relevant. Again, you definitely want to make things applicable, to their daily lives. Capture ideas in a narrative. You definitely want to tell stories that are applicable to what they're learning. The ways that I incorporate technology, of course, are through the online grading system. That's very important. And also, one portion that I think is neat, if there's an option in your grading system that allows parents to see their child's progress, you definitely want to incorporate that because that warrants discussion, a positive, effective discussion, as well as a solution. Or there may be some tactics that you're using at home, at school, that they could probably use at home. This also gives parents an indicator into how their kids are doing in your class or in your course, or lets you know some things that may need to be improved or what may not need to be, or what may be successful and what may not be successful. And the biggest thing that I do is publish students' work. I take pictures, I send home pictures of work. They're presenting projects. I send footage to parents on our class communication app, just so parents can see how their kids are doing. I also have a wall at school. Look at our work. That's the title. That's literally the title. Look at our work. And all of the hard work, all of the writing, pictures of the experiment, everything that they have done over the course of that learning module, I like to include outside. So administration, my coworkers, visitors, stakeholders, people that really make the school flow can see that inside of my classroom, we're doing work.